there that has been extended to cover more parts of our viewing area. So we are keeping a close eye on this as we continue to get updates from the National Weather Service. Again, this was radar indicated, so we're going to look at what the National Weather Service has said. A severe thunderstorm is capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line winds, folks. So this is not just about that tornado threat. This is also those straight line winds strengthening and causing damage in some parts of our area. This was located 10 miles east of Central City, moving northeast at 85 miles per hour.
85 miles an hour. That is very swift forward movement. So if you live anywhere in Breckenridge, Ohio, Butler counties, please be taking shelter right now. And you need to do that in the lowest level of your home. So if that's not a basement, then you need to look for an interior hallway. You need to look for a closet. Look for a bathtub in the bathroom. Make sure you're staying away from outside walls and windows. Serious situation here. We don't know that a tornado is on the ground, but radar is strongly indicating that. Not too far away from the Dunmore area and just a little bit southeast of Central City. And these cells are moving along at 85 miles an hour to the northeast. So you don't have that much time to react if you live in places like Beaver Dam or Hartford. Also down to Morgantown. Butler County, you're in on this as well. And then northward into Breckenridge County around the Rough River Lake vicinity and up toward Kirk. You also have Hardinsburg. If you live anywhere in those communities, seek shelter immediately. There's the way it looks on Max Storm. I'm going to jump out here, and I'm noticing one area. This is moving just a little bit to the east of Drakesboro. So right in here, you have a lot of lightning cluster there in the southern part of Ohio County. As we pan down toward this area, here's Hartford. You have Beaver Dam just south of there as you work your way down. I-165 and also US 231 running in this area. That snakes its way down toward Morgantown. If you live anywhere here from Beaver Dam down to Morgantown, this possible rain wrap tornado is going to be heading your way very quickly. The forward speed, 85 miles an hour. That's as swift as I've ever heard in this area. Now we're looking at velocity. This is how we look for inbound versus outbound winds. So right in this area here, we have some deeper red showing up and kind of a curly Q look there. That's just a little bit east of Central City. This would be the Western Kentucky Parkway. This line you see right here that moves out of Muhlenberg County, goes over to Ohio County. This is the Green River. So if we have a tornado, again, we don't know that we do, but if we do, it is going to be just a little bit east of Central City, right in this area. That's the most suspect place right now. But then you also have a whole region here, that dark red that extends all the way down into Muhlenberg County. Straight line wind potential upwards of 70 miles an hour is possible within that region here. So you've got this possible tornado right over the Green River. It would be very close to the Western Kentucky Parkway right now. So you do not need to be traveling along US 231 or I-165 through Hart County right now from Hartford down toward Beaver Dam. You need to stay off those roads. Don't need to be traveling down the Western Kentucky Parkway, certainly not west out of I-165 right now, because you could be driving into a tornado. Possible tornado will be right here, very close to, if not right over the Green River and the Western Kentucky Parkway. As we get a little closer here, this is the area of most concern right now, this twisting that you see here on our velocity scope. And notice all the way down into the southern part of Muhlenberg County, that deeper red. We just got a new scan there on velocity. This updates every 5 minutes. So now the possible tornado will be crossing out of Muhlenberg County and into Ohio County. You've got Beaver Dam up here. Hartford would be about underneath where the banner is right now. And then you've got McHenry. McHenry is very close to US 62 and also the Western Kentucky Parkway. So the storms are now moving out of Muhlenberg County. For Central City, the threat is over for you. We still have a small portion of Muhlenberg County technically under the tornado warning, but it looks like you're almost out of danger there if you live in, say, Drakesboro or Dunmore. I wouldn't get out of my safe space yet, but it looks like the worst part of the cell is now crossing over the Green River and heading into Ohio County. Again, here's Beaver Dam. If you live in Beaver Dam or Hartford, please be in your basement. And then farther to the north, you have Dundee. That's up Highway 69. And then further up Highway 69, you have the Fordsville community. You're all under a tornado warning at this time. And Butler County, I don't want to forget about you. Butler County, we are noticing some strong thunderstorms on the southern end of the county there, but the strongest rotation that we're noting right now is the area working out of Muhlenberg County into southernmost Ohio County. And I mean, this thing is rocketing to the northeast at 85 miles an hour. So as we put the forward movement on that, cities in the path here. Now, Grayson County, you're not under a tornado warning at this time, but Litchfield is coming up here. You also have communities like White Run, Caneyville, that's in Grayson County, Short Creek, also in Grayson County, and then you have West Clifty, and that's getting out here into the northeastern corner of Grayson County. Of course, the movement of this could flux as we go on in time here, but it is moving to the northeast, so that movement is going to take it through southern Ohio County. It's going to be very close to McHenry, very close to Beaver Dam. You also have the Rosine community in this area as well. So it's basically following the Western Kentucky Parkway and also US 62. Muhlenberg County, again, just about out of the clear. You are in the clear if you're in Central City, Powderly down toward Greenville. You're okay. This is all happening to the east of you now. But Beaver Dam, Hartford, Dundee, please seek shelter now if you've not already done so. Litchfield need to be on standby. Again, you're not under a tornado warning there, but keep a close eye on what's happening to your west right now as we have the tornado warnings for not only Ohio County, but also Butler County to the south, and then Breckinridge County farther off to the north, including the city of Hardinsburg. Raquel, Dana Money also, and Matt Stevens in the Weather Center, are we getting any reports from the National Weather Service or any further bulletins about this?
Shane,
we know if anything's on the ground.
Yeah, just want to reiterate the power of this storm. We're starting to see some reports come in from towns that these storms have previously moved through over the last 15 to 20 minutes or so. But as you said, 85 mile per hour winds being reported with these storms. And we're seeing reports from Murray, Kentucky, which these moved through 20 to 30 minutes ago, of snapped power lines. So that could have been done from the straight line winds, not necessarily even the tornadic cells.
Yeah, and Raquel, if we can widen out the view, I want to show everybody we've got two distinct lines of storms going on now. We've got the one that's moving through Bowling Green right now. By the way, Warren County is not under a warning at this time, but we do have thunderstorms moving in now from out of Logan County, which are fairly strong, and you can see some pockets of heavy rain there for Franklin and points to the south down toward Nashville. Nashville getting blasted right now. All this is moving to the north and east. So this is line number one. Here is line number two, and that extends from roughly about Mount Vernon, Illinois, that's I-57 and I-64 up here, down through Paducah, where there was a tornado warning a little while ago, and then farther south, moving right over Kentucky Lake, and that extends, in fact, all the way down Kentucky Lake, well into the western part of Tennessee. So that is a narrow but nasty line. That's out ahead of the cold front itself, and I'm very concerned because some of the strongest upper air energy and jet stream energy is located out here across western Kentucky and Tennessee right now. Our area just kind of getting into the entrance region of that, if you were, but the atmosphere is primed. It's also moist. It's also unstable. So parameters are coming together today, unfortunately, for severe weather to break out. Now, let's go back in tighter on Ohio County. Again, this is the area of my biggest concern right now. Southern Ohio County, very close to Beaver Dam. Raquel, let's take off composite and leave on just a sweeping radar if we could. And we'll show you what's going on there. We'll stop the imagery for just a moment. So just south of Hartford, this area right here near Hartford Beaver Dam, possible tornado still in this vicinity of this southern part of Ohio County. Here's US 231 as we go in a little tighter. I-165 that runs just east of Beaver Dam, just east of Hartford. And then you have Horse Branch a little bit farther to the east out here. We mentioned Rosine earlier. Here's Sunnydale up top. If you live in any of those communities, now is the time to seek shelter. If you have not already done so, tornado warning is still in effect here. And then farther to the east, this is Grayson County. Grayson County not warned right now, but you need to keep an eye on this if you live in the eastern part of that vicinity. So there are the tornado warnings. You can see pretty much all of Ohio and Butler counties being highlighted here in the red polygons. So the National Weather Service in Louisville essentially blanketing this whole area with more widespread tornado warnings here because A, you've got a tornado threat here with rotation, but B, you have a pretty pronounced widespread wind damage potential out of this. Not all along the line here, but there will be pockets of that where wind damage could be in excess of 70 miles an hour. The winds themselves, which could produce some structural damage and also could down some trees as well as power lines. We talked about the power outage potential being higher today than it has been in some of the past events. And again, there's that second line. It's just now coming into view. This is over far west Kentucky. So there are the tornado alerts for you. Tornado watch is in effect for the entire viewing area now. Highlighted in the red here, the red polygons, these are the counties under tornado warnings. And we're talking entire counties here, Breckenridge, Ohio, and Butler. It's rare these days that the Weather Service will issue tornado warnings for entire counties. That's the way they used to do it before, say, about 2007, when they went to the polygon method that we normally see. But this is a different animal here because you've got embedded supercells and you also have a more pronounced straight line wind potential that exists. So two threats in one there for those of you in the tornado warned area. There's the tornado watch, and it extends the entire region now up until 4 o'clock this afternoon. That takes in Bowling Green and also takes in all the counties now to the east of Bowling Green. As we're going to have rapid moving cells. Line number 1 we're dealing with right now. Line number 2 is over far west Kentucky and extends up to the north into southern parts of Illinois. So there you see it on reflectivity mode. Again, this is line number 1, I'm calling it. Moving out of Owensboro, moving through Ohio County where you're under the tornado warning now, moving into Bowling Green where we are not under a warning, but we're keeping an eye on it, and then extending south down into Nashville, right through the middle of Tennessee, pretty much following I-65 there. And boy, line number 2 looks narrow, but very, very intense. That's the one that just came through Paducah. There was a confirmed tornado with that, and then that extends all the way down through Kentucky Lake, heading over the LBL region, land between the lakes, and that soon is going to be working into Hopkins and Christian counties. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. It extends all the way down into western portions of Tennessee. Raquel, anything new over there?
The tornado warning for Muhlenberg County has been canceled, or at least for parts of it.
Okay, yeah, in Muhlenberg County, you're off the hook now. I'm looking at the latest radar trends. Strongest storms are to your east. So Muhlenberg County, you're in good shape now. Tornado warning canceled for you. It's still, though, in effect for Ohio, Butler, and also Breckenridge County. So back closer to the first part of the line. Let's go back into Ohio County, Raquel, if we can. And yeah, right here. And let's have just a sweeping radar on this one right here, the level 2. So we can determine what's going on here with possible rotation. So right here, very close to Hartford Beaver Dam, you can see kind of a hook echo here. That's where a possible tornado would be. Let's switch over to velocity and see what we can find there over the middle of Ohio County. Now we are getting a little bit farther away from the site there in Fort Campbell, but again, if we do have a tornado on the ground, it would be very close to Hartford and Beaver Dam now, and it's making its way very rapidly to the northeast toward the Fordsville area. And I hear EAS going off. Do we have any kind of a new warning coming out? Or any new information?
We have a severe thunderstorm warning, which has now been issued for parts of Allen, Edmondson, Simpson, and Warren County.
Okay.
They have seen 70-mile-per-hour winds in that area. A tornado is possible. So we are dealing with those really strong, damaging winds across those counties. Shane.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of tornado possible tags with these severe thunderstorms today. And keep in mind, we mentioned this going into the day, that if we get a severe thunderstorm warning this afternoon for any of the area that's in the high wind warning, and that's most of south central Kentucky, it's going to be for winds of 70 miles an hour or greater, not just 60, because we're going to be dealing with gradient winds that could be as high as 60 miles an hour in gusts. So there is that new warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that takes in roughly the southeastern half of the city of Bowling Green, southeast Warren County in on this, most of Simpson County, that includes Franklin, and a good chunk of Allen County, western Allen County, including Scottsville. That's a severe thunderstorm warning until 12:15. Take all warnings seriously today. Again, I mentioned that severe thunderstorm warnings for the Bowling Green area and points east today, where you've got the high wind warning, will mean that wind gusts could exceed 70 miles an hour. So there's greater potential for structural damage involved with these down trees and power lines. So if you live in Bowling Green, you live in Scottsville, you live in Franklin, Please stay away from windows right now. Stay inside while these storms move on through. And again, we're noting the tornado warning still up for Butler as well as Ohio and Breckinridge counties. We're going to see if we can go to a live AAA webcam imagery here and
Shane, we're
check
going to
out
take you
what's going
right
on.
now to Morgantown.
Okay, so there's a live look. This is Morgantown, our AAA Systems webcam there. I can tell the flag is extended there, so we definitely have some wind. There's going to be a lot of wind with the storms as they move through Butler and Ohio counties, and now Warren County under severe thunderstorm warning as well. You can see the sky. This is darkening. This is looking to the southwest here. This is the Butler County Courthouse. Meanwhile in Elkton, and this is worrisome because I told you about that second line of thunderstorms that's over far west Kentucky right now. Elkton is in between batches of thunderstorms. You had batch number 1 move through earlier. Recall, you were under a tornado warning earlier. You're not right now, but I'm seeing full sunshine there in Todd County, and that's not necessarily a good thing because you still have line number 2 of thunderstorms that are over West Kentucky, the Lakes area, that has yet to move into the Elkton area, so we're going to have to keep you apprised on that. Russellville, you're going to be seeing the clearing very soon. In fact, you're seeing it now over western Logan County. You had showers and thunderstorms. They are diminishing there in Russellville right now. You still see some raindrops evident there on the camera lens, but we're going to watch there for that clearing that's taking place in our western counties right now ahead of line number 2 of storms. That is disconcerting. 68 degrees in Scottsville. Of course, we've got a very moisture-laden atmosphere. So even despite the morning clouds, these storms still have a lot going for them in terms of a lot of shear, a lot of dynamics, jet stream energy, and now we're building instability as we're getting into the afternoon. So all the parameters and ingredients coming together here, unfortunately, today. Now, here's the way it looks on the max storm imagery. Bowling Green points to the south and east now under severe thunderstorm warning. Let's quickly, if we could, Raquel, go into the area here from Bowling Green southward. We'll zoom in to include Franklin and also Scottsville, where we've got the severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Very intense thunderstorms now heading into Franklin. Again, these could have wind gusts in excess of 70 miles an hour, moving swiftly off to the northeast. The storms are lining up right along 65 right now, from Bowling Green down through Plano, also into Franklin, and then farther south down the interstate toward White House, Tennessee, rocketing very quickly to the north and northeast. So that's what we're dealing with now in the Bowling Green area. We're not under a tornado warning in Warren County. We're looking at velocity here. I do see an area that's kind of suspect near Franklin right now. It's not very tight. It's not a very tight couplet here on the velocity scan, but we do have a brighter red there trying to form against the green. So we're going to need to keep a very close eye on that vicinity there around Franklin. That's in Simpson County. You're not under a tornado warning right now, but you do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, update on the tornado warning for Ohio County. Looks like, Raquel, at this point, this is essentially eastern Ohio County, and then in our coverage area, the western part of Breckinridge County. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that revised tornado warning there is until 12 o'clock. So that tornado warning has essentially been trimmed back to a polygon form that we normally see, but it's still in effect for those of you from Hartford, Beaver Dam, up toward Fordsville, Dundee. You all need to be in a place of safety right now. You're still in a tornado warning until 12 o'clock at the top of the hour. Now, here's the max storm imagery, and right now the strongest storms we're concerned about would be over Breckinridge County, kind of thumbing their way down into Ohio County. If there is a tornado involved with this one, it would likely be between Dundee and Fordsville right now, this vicinity, right there on that rear flank of the storm that's heading into Breckinridge County. And again, because we're getting farther away from the radar site, it is getting a little bit more difficult to detect there as far as any rotation or circulation with velocity scope. But you are still under the tornado warning in the northeastern part of Ohio County and then adjacent sections of western Breckinridge County. Severe thunderstorm warning is what we have going on for Bowling Green as well as Franklin. Very intense thunderstorms. We talked about what was moving through there. And guys, we can check out the Franklin webcam. We might be able to pull that up here momentarily because I'm interested to see what's going on there. We did note some broad rotation going on in Simpson County, very close to Franklin a short time ago. That is working its way northeastward toward Allen County. So again, there's that polygon that's highlighting the severe thunderstorm warned area. And that is now from Bowling Green southward affecting Franklin, also getting ready to move into Scottsville. So there is the watch warn map for you. Notice the slew of warnings we have. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings, but there are many of them. Severe thunderstorm warnings new now for, looks like Hopkins and Christian County, and those going until 12:30. Is that right?
Yes, and I just wanted to let everyone know that the National Weather Service has officially canceled that tornado warning for Breckenridge, Hancock, and Ohio County.
Okay.
So they said that that storm has weakened significantly from when they issued that warning initially.
Okay, so that's good news. Those of you in Ohio County, Breckenridge County, you can get out of your safe spaces now. You are no longer under the tornado warning. And at this moment, as I look here on this map, we don't have any tornado warnings in our immediate area. We hope to keep it that way.
Yes.
But keep in mind that severe thunderstorm warnings today do need to be taken seriously because some of them may contain wind gusts in excess of 70 miles an hour, which could do some structural damage. So here are the severe thunderstorm warnings that take in Bowling Green, also Simpson County, Allen County, that's still in effect until 12:15. Then our attention shifts to the west with line number 2 of storms that's moving out of the Paducah area, crossing over Kentucky Lake, Lake Barkley, heading toward Madisonville and Hopkinsville. Severe thunderstorm warnings there until 12:30. Wow. There is Franklin, and Franklin is getting blasted here. This is our AAA Systems webcam looking at the Simpson County Courthouse, and you can't even see beyond the square right now because visibility is so poor. Rain coming down in sheets, and no doubt some gusty winds with this. And I'd be interested to see, too, the mesonet wind gusts, because I'm sure some of them are very intense, and they could be getting very intense there in Simpson County in particular, with line number 1 of thunderstorms now moving right through that city. In the central part of Simpson County, absolutely getting hammered right now. Now, there are the mesonet wind gusts, and not as strong as I thought there. That site in Franklin is a little bit west of the city, so I think the strongest winds have shifted a little bit east of where that particular site in Simpson County is located. But we do have a gust of 34 in Bowling Green, so there is quite a bit of wind out there still, and gusts of 30 miles an hour plus commonplace to the east and also to the southeast. Gusts of 37 right now in Columbia and Albany, and you haven't even dealt with the storms out there yet, but you will be before this afternoon is out. And then looking farther to the west, you've got Madisonville, Hopkinsville gusts also over 30 miles an hour, but we're going to watch these gusts fluctuate. Earlier this morning, as one line of thunderstorms came through far west Kentucky, in Fulton County, we had a gust there to 72 miles an hour. So that's what these storms are going to be capable of as they traverse their way to the east. Here's line number 1. And this is the way it looks now on Max Storm from Bowling Green down through Franklin. Strong thunderstorms right now, severely warned, that could be producing winds to 70 miles an hour. So you want to stay inside, stay away from windows while these storms are moving through. Then a break and some sunshine in that break. And then here's line number 2. Now the low pressure center, it's still back here just south of St. Louis. There is much colder air on the back side of that eventually is going to get here tonight. But this low, it is very intense and wrapped up, and there's a lot of spin in the atmosphere as a result. So that spin is one of our concerns today, where we've got these thunderstorms forming, working their way up, towering through the atmosphere, tapping into the change in direction of the wind as you go up with height, and trying to mix that wind down in the form of either a tornado, a brief one, or straight line winds, and we've got instances of those going on. I just heard the EAS go off again. Do we have a new warning?
No, we just have reports from damage already. In parts of Masonville specifically at this moment, or Madisonville, we are seeing several uprooted trees north of that Walmart distribution. And of course, some of those severe thunderstorm warnings that we're hearing right now are out of our viewing area, but that just represents how strong these storms are for the entire region. This isn't just a local event. This is going to affect a few states actually, and we're going to see a lot of rain from this, repeated rounds of rain. There's a look at our vertically integrated liquid at the moment, and we're seeing localized flooding already reporting from the National Weather Service at this moment. So those folks who live near rivers, creeks, any low-lying or flood-prone areas, they will really need to watch out for some of these storms that are going to bring us repeated rounds of heavy rain, basically for the rest of the morning and early afternoon, Shane.
And I should explain there, vertically integrated liquid, that's a hail product. There may be some hail with the storms today. I don't think that's the primary threat. That's more of a lesser threat. We're more concerned about straight line winds and also isolated spin-ups with the storms today and the setup right now. Here we are on radar. We can go back to the red banner there, Matt, on the max storm. Since we're in alert day here. We've got showers and storms. They are weaker now to the north. There we go. And they are moving through parts of Grayson County toward E-Town. These don't look too intense at the moment, so that's good. We did have the tornado warning earlier for Ohio County and also Muhlenberg County. That's no longer on the board. Strongest storms now are lined up on the south side of Bowling Green, right down I-65. Moving through Franklin. We just showed you the AAA systems view from downtown Franklin. Raining in sheets there and gusty winds to go with that. Now the strongest winds and heavy rain in Simpson County is getting ready to cross over to Allen County. So Scottsville's here. Scottsville need to be inside right now. You're not in a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning. Rainfall rates here upwards of 2 inches per hour. So we haven't really talked much about the flooding threat or localized flooding potential, but that's a possibility when you've got 2 distinct lines of thunderstorms like we've got going on right now. Now, line number 1 is getting ready to move out of Bowling Green. The strongest part of it is heading toward the southeast side of the city, toward places like Alvaton as well as Plano. Not a whole lot of lightning showing up here. There is some at times, but no doubt torrential downpours where you see the reds. Gusty wind potential here along this line that could be up to 70 miles an hour, kind that could knock out power, take down trees, cause some structural damage. And then that extends all the way down to Middle Tennessee. Then you got a break. Sunshine's return for places like Greenville, Elkton, over toward Madisonville and Hopkinsville. And that is worrisome because that's helping to fuel storm energy out ahead of the next line that is now working from Marion, Kentucky, down through Trigg County and farther south into parts of Tennessee. Now, storm reports so far, you can see a few icons showing up here where we have had reports of damage, at least some trees down, and then also into the western part of the state, several reports of flooding out there, especially around Paducah, where they've dealt with multiple rounds of rain and storms last night. And then that's going to be progressing its way to the northeast with time. So line number 1, here's a wider view. That goes from basically Louisville now through Bowling Green down toward the east side of the Nashville metro area. And that is heading towards Scottsville right now. So Scottsville next in line to see this. You're not under warning in areas east of Scottsville or in Barron County yet, but severe thunderstorm warning continues for a little while longer for Bowling Green and points to the south and east toward 12:15. Is that right? Yes, there it is. So there are the warnings, 12:15 on the severe thunderstorm warning for the southeastern part of Warren County, most of Simpson County, and roughly the western one half of Allen County. You also got a severe thunderstorm warning right across the state line into portions of Sumner County, including Portland, Tennessee, down toward the Gallatin area, and then getting out of our coverage area east of Nashville toward Lebanon, Tennessee, that part under severe thunderstorm warning as well. That's all with line number 1. Back here you have line number 2. We mentioned severe thunderstorm warnings for Hopkins and Christian County now. That one goes until 12:30. And then there are more severe thunderstorm warnings in back of that extend back into Critton and Caldwell, Trigg, and Lyon counties. We don't have any tornado warnings right now, so that is a good thing. We hope that continues, but we're in the kind of environment today that we could have quick spin-up type tornadoes within these lines of thunderstorms that will contain straight line wind damage potential. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning that extends out of our viewing area toward Evansville tri-state vicinity, including Evansville, Henderson, down toward Webster County, part of Hopkins County in on that new warning. That is until 1 o'clock. Back toward the Bowling Green area. Let's look again, go back to reflectivity, and we'll show you the thunderstorms beginning to move away from Bowling Green now and down toward the Franklin area. Let's see if we can maybe pull up a AAA webcam view out of Bowling Green, perhaps along Scottsville Road. Okay, here we are on the west end of the city. And yeah, there's your clearing already taking place. So the first line of thunderstorms has just about cleared us here in Bowling Green. It's pushing out. We're going to get some sunshine for a little while. And then the second line of thunderstorms is going to make its way in here within the next 90 minutes to 2 hours, given the swift movement of it, I do believe. And then it would be now on the southeast side of Bowling Green where we're getting the heaviest rain. So let's go toward the Wingate Hotel, this one right here.
Also, Shane, I do want to add that there has been a tornado reported by a National Weather Service employee that was in McCracken County, Kentucky.
Okay.
At 11:07 a.m., we got damaged homes and trees down in the Fremont area, reported by off-duty National Weather Service employees. So there has been a confirmed tornado in that area.
Okay, so again, that is in Paducah area. For those of you with family or friends there, might want to call, check on them, see how they're doing. That was in McCracken County, a tornado confirmed earlier, out of our viewing area, but in western Kentucky nevertheless. Look what's going on here over Scottsville Road and I-65. This is the Greenwood interchange. Absolutely blinding downpours, and these cars are traveling very slowly, as they should be, with lights on right now. Don't want to head out in the middle of this if you don't have to. Of course, we're in the middle of the lunch hour right now in Bowling Green, as it were, but we are dealing with torrential rains here and gusty winds on the southeast side of the city. Rainfall rates upwards of 2 inches per hour. This is going to slacken off very soon. Then we'll get that break before the second line of thunderstorms comes marching in, and that is, again, about 90 minutes to 2 hours away. But you cannot even see beyond the interstate there. So very, very low visibility with the heavy downpours now moving over Scottsville Road and toward I-65 on the southeast side of Bowling Green. And there's how it looks on the max storm imagery. So you go from Nolan Lake down through Brownsville, where you're not warned right now, through Bowling Green, where we have the severe thunderstorm warning. The warning's still in effect for Simpson County, although the strongest storms are beginning to move away from Franklin now, crossing over I-65, heading towards Scottsville. Much of Allen County covered up in thunderstorm action now. And yeah, we'll go ahead and pull in tighter on this vicinity. And so Bowling Green, the east side of the city now, right down I-65, Plano, Alvaton, very heavy rain right now and some gusty winds.
It's time to